welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Devin, and in today's video we are finally doing a full house plant tour. So I've actually split this up into two videos, so this will be part one, and stay tuned for part two, which will be coming out shortly as well. And so you don't miss part two of this video, go ahead and subscribe down below and click that notification bell, and it will notify you every time I upload a new video. You can also follow me over on Instagram, where I will also leave my tag and it'll all be linked in the description box below. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and see how many plants I have. I'm going to try my best to remember every name of each plant that I have on the screen below, and counting how many plants I actually have too, because I have never officially counted all of the plants that I have. So let's go. Alright, so the first plant we're going to start off is in my entryway. So this plant right here is actually the Raven ZZ plant. So compared to the normal ZZ plant, it does come in black. As you can see, it starts off with a new growth, comes in green, and then over time it does get black. So I have this in my entryway because it does not get a lot of light. The next plant I have in my entryway is a Chinese evergreen. I believe it's the tigress version, and I've kind of had like a love-hate relationship with these. It has been a culprit of mealybugs at least twice, and I'm not sure why. But it does consistently give me new growth. And down below it is another ZZ plant. And you will see throughout the tour that I do have a lot of ZZ plants. Oh yeah, kitty? What are you doing? What are you doing? So I'm in my living room, and this room has an eastern facing window, and so it gets morning light, but throughout the day it is typically a lower light room. So I do have a few plants in here that are more lower light plants. So this is a nerve plant, a pink nerve plant. I cannot remember the name of it to save my life, but I'll put it up on the screen. And it is a little bit sparse right now because it was getting leggy, so I decided to chop it up to see if I could propagate it, and also if it would grow in a little bushier, but it's a little funky right now, but I really like her. Moving on is another small ZZ plant. So this was part of pulled from a mother plant years ago, and it finally sprouted. This little guy took forever to come up, and I didn't think that it was actually going to survive, but it is. This is a pink polka dot plant. As you can see, it's not doing so well. I actually got it at my local grocery store, and I'm not sure if I just was inconsistent with watering or if it's not getting enough light. It is getting a few crispy leaves, but it does have a little bit of new growth. If you know what's wrong with this plant or like how to take care of them, let me know in the comments below, because this is the first time that I've had this plant, and it's really pretty and cute. I don't know if I'm just not giving it enough light. Just let me know. Moving on to another large ZZ plant. So this is one of my favorite plants in my collection. It is a big ZZ plant. I think I originally got it from IKEA. But I just noticed recently, the other day, that it is sprouting a new stalk finally. For the longest time, I've had this for almost 2 years, and it didn't give me barely any new growth, and I just noticed the other day that it is, so I'm really excited about that. I have a bird's nest sansevieria, so when I got it, it was just that middle stalk, and it shot up these two ones pretty quickly. Moving up to my mantle, I do have another sansevieria snake plant, and this one's kind of a weird one. As you can see, they're like kind of bent and folded. It's like a combination of a moonshine right here and the black coral variety. This is again one of my oldest plants, and I'm not quite sure what happened to it or why it's like that, but kind of like it, kind of funky. Next to it is my neon pothos. So I did a video of where I restyled this entire mantle of all of my plants, and I'm going to link that on the cards up top for you guys to go check it out if you want to. But this does add like a really nice color variation and gets that lime green. And we got a little new growth going on right here. So I really like this plant. Pretty quote unquote basic for the houseplant community, but nothing wrong with basic. It is very rewarding and it always gives me new growth, and I'm hoping that I can get it to trail. All right, next to that, I do have this little air plant. No idea what the name is, but I do soak my air plants in water about every 2 weeks for about an hour. They seem to be doing okay. Moving on, next to it is another of my nerve plants. This is the green variety, and like the other one, I did chop it up because it was getting a little leggy, so it is a little sparse, but I don't know. I really like these plants. They give you a lot of satisfaction of growing quickly. So Begonia, that is the name. Oh my goodness, I could not remember the name of it. So moving on, I have my Scindapsus, and I got these probably like right at the beginning of the season and wasn't giving out as much new growth, but now it is. It's starting to trail down a little bit and give me these cute little leaves. And below this, again, is another Pothos. So this is the jade variety, and I just have it sitting on a little coffee table, and I like looking at it. It's relaxing to have next to you while you're watching TV or having coffee. It's giving new growth out. Yeah, not much to say about this, but the leaves when I got it are rather large, which is awesome. Moving on to my Monstera Deliciosa. So I have propagated this a few times, and I will link that video up in the cards of where I propagated it and the video of where I show how much it's grown. It's just super easy to propagate. I just put this on a moss pole to try to grow it bigger and have the leaves grow bigger, because it is a climbing plant. You can trail it down, but to get bigger leaves, you should stalk it up, because in the wild they do like to climb up on things. So, and over here, this is a lemon lime Dracaena. So it is the big tree version. This is one of my newer plants. I did have a different Dracaena back here, but I do like having this pretty Dracaena, and they're pretty hardy plants. And I did, as you can see up here, I do have a grow light that helps with light throughout the day, since this is only an eastern facing window and it gets morning light. So to help with the lighting, I do have this grow light up here, and I'll link the one that I use down below. I believe it's the GE version. So it does help this guy and all the plants on my mantle kind of receive more light throughout the day. I do have 3 plants right here, and again, this is another air plant. It's kind of one of those ones that doesn't look like it's alive, but it is. It kind of just hangs out right there. And then behind that, I just recently put this Bromeliad here. I'm not sure. I'll probably end up moving it because I don't think it's receiving enough light. It did have 2 purple blooms on it earlier, and it lost its color on its like main stalk. So I'm not sure if it's because it doesn't have enough light or what's the deal. If any of you guys have had that issue, let me know. And over here is just another variety of Dracaena. I'm not sure of the name right off the top of my head, but again, I will place it on the screen below. And it's another good low light plant. And then to the left of it, again, is another jade Pothos. So this one I have hanging on the wall. All right, moving into my dining room is where I have most of my plants. And the reason is it gets good light. So that's a west, north, and east window. So it gets a lot of different direction of light throughout the day. So I have most of my plants in here. So I'm gonna start off with a snake plant. I think this is the black coral version. And again, super easy plant. Up by it, I have my ficus elastica, or rubber tree, and then this is the burgundy variety, so it's the more common one, and it's the darker green one. actually had found this at my local grocery store for like $5, which was awesome. I literally just picked this up the other day. I'm trying my hand at Begonia. So this is a Rex Begonia. It is kind of just acclimating to my house right now. It says it needs medium light, and I know it needs high humidity. So we'll see if it does well in here or if I need to put it in a different location. Behind that, sorry for the light guys, there's a window, is a rooted cutting of my Monstera Deliciosa. Next to it is my mini Schefflera or mini umbrella plant, and it's the variegated version, so it has, you know, white edges, and it's been doing pretty well. So back here I have a basil plant that I originally took cuttings off of the mother plant and then propagated it, and it's growing like crazy. And I also have another, I just chopped it up recently. I have a pilea. So this was a gift, and as you can see, it's like facing towards the window, so I need to rotate it. I'm not the best at keeping these alive. I've had one before, but it does have a little pup. So yeah, if you guys have any like good tips on how to keep this plant thriving, and I know it consistently puts out new growth, which is great. I guess I need to rotate it. If it needs more light, let me know. Moving on to my Philodendron split leaf. So this is another plant that consistently gives me new growth like all the time. But the leaves are kind of small, and I'm not sure if it's just not getting enough light or it just fully hasn't grown yet. Am I doing this correctly, plant? Is it just funky? It's not as bushy as some of the other ones, and it gets real leggy. So not quite sure, but I'm gonna keep trying. I mean, it's clearly doing something right if it's putting out new growth. So, and then down here, I do have another, I believe this is a golden pothos. Yeah, as you can see, it's got a bit of variegation on it. Yeah. Moving on to this shelf. This guy's almost on the verge of needing watering. So this is my Spathiphyllum Chico, I believe. It is a peace lily. It's just a smaller variety. The leaves are smaller and bushier, but it is loving life. It has recently put off 3 blooms that it never had before. I don't know. And even though she's dramatic and thirsty all the time, I really like her. Moving on is my Rattlesnake Plant. So yeah, she's doing pretty good. She has a few brown crispy leaves, which is kind of common. For these plants, I probably need to give her a little bit more humidity, but that's the newest leaf that she has. And it's really pretty, as you know. This is the prayer plant family. They kind of close their leaves up at night, and they have a beautiful kind of burgundy red back to it. And then over here, I have another ZZ plant. Moving up, I have a large spider plant, and it is the variety with the white stripe down the middle, and it does have a new pup. And back here is a Syngonium. Had this plant for a while. I'm gonna pull it out. I can't remember the variety. It might just be the pink surprise. If I could figure it out, I will put it on the screen below. That leaf is rather large. It must be new. So this is like a bushier version of it. And back here I have a cylindrical snake plant. It sprouted these babies like a year ago, and then it just like stopped growing them. I think I originally got it from IKEA. And next to that I have my Philodendron burl marks. And this guy is kind of wild as well. Some of the leaves were damaged from its original shipping, and that's like the newest leaf that it has. On the very top shelf I have this new Marble Queen Pothos, and I did talk about this in my most recent plant haul. I will link that in the cards up top. And look at that. Isn't that so cool? Yeah, just another pothos that trails all the way down to here. And then next to that, let me pull it off, is I have a small Monstera Deliciosa. It has this long one that's kind of going funky. So this is a cutting from my very first Monstera that I actually ended up killing because it was my first plant and I left it outside and I didn't really know how to take care of it. But I saved this leaf and I believe another leaf, and it finally is starting to grow. I do need to kind of stock it up. And then next to it is my Domino peace lily, which is another variety of Speciphylum, and it's got like thicker textured leaves that have a variegation on it. Again, consistently giving me new blooms and new growths. Next to it is one of my newest plants. It is my Monstera Siltopecana, and I just showed you guys in my most recent haul where I got it from Steve's Leaves. So I'm still deciding whether I want to trail it down or stalk it up and see if I can get it to like climb up the wall. Right. So over here on my table, I have my Ficus elastica, the ruby variety or ruby tree. I again just got this in my most recent haul from an online nursery, and it came in really nicely. And I just picked this Syngonium up from the grocery store. It was $9, you guys, which is insane because it's, I mean, next to it, it's pretty big. So yeah, I'm not sure what the variety is. I think it's the Syngonium Pink Surprise, but let me know what this is down below or what variety, because it did not say when I got it. Again, in my most recent haul, I talked about this and I thought it was a lemon lime Maranta, but someone had said it was a different variety of Maranta. Behind this is a Peperomia obtusifolia, so it is the variegated version. And next to that is a Dracaena, is the Janet Craig or the compacta version. This was actually in another video where I had chopped off the top of the mother plant because it was not doing well propagating in water and planted it up, which was pretty easy. So next to that I have my Scindapsus exotica. It is really pretty. It's got huge leaves and it's got more of a silvery, more silver on it than my other Scindapsus pictus. And again, getting a few new growths, which is always exciting. So I'm hoping that the leaves continue to get huge and stay huge. All right, moving on to my next shelf, I have this Syngonium reverted, which just means that probably was all like this and the variegation had gone away, which is okay by me because there's a few leaves that are still variegated, so maybe there's a chance that it will come back. All right, next to that is another Peperomia obtusifolia. So this is again a variegated version, but this has the white variegation compared to the one before was a green variegation. Next to that again is another neon pothos, which can't go wrong with the neon pothos. I like it because it gives a nice variety of color between the dark greens, and it's an easy trailing plant. Up here I have my ferns. So this is an asparagus fern. Seems to be doing okay. And then next to that I have my kangaroo paw or kangaroo foot fern. It's a recent purchase, so hopefully I can keep it alive. And then next to that I have my lipstick plant that looks so sad right now. Guys, I am struggling with this plant. I think I neglected it for too long and I recently just had to cut off a bunch of leaves. And yeah, I'm hoping to propagate a few of them, but it has not liked me and I am so sorry because it is a cool version. It is the black Begonia. Over here, up on a shelf in my kitchen, I have my Cebu Blue cutting that I showed in my most recent haul. It is getting a lot of roots, which I'm really excited about because I can't find a large mother plant to save my life. And up here is another golden pothos. This is just the jade variety. This is one of my oldest plants. I actually got it at our old condo where the previous owners had left it, and it's like tripled in size. So, and I've taken so many cuttings from this plant to create new ones, and it's starting to, it doesn't trail down for some reason. It just likes to stick up. I don't know. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of this 2-part plant tour. Stick around for part 2. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload the second part. And let me know what your favorite plant was, or your favorite plant in your collection, and any sort of tips and tricks of keeping some of them alive. I know that I have a few that are struggling a little bit and a few that are thriving, and that's just how it is in the plant world. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!